Hello everyone. So recently I made a video on how to make money using open source based technologies, and in that particular video I just wanted to share my experience on how I have been using open source to basically run a business, earn money, and I basically wanted to encourage someone who is really passionate about open source, really interested in using Linux or similar technologies, and at the same time they want to uh, maybe run a business or become a freelancer. And today I also wanted to talk about something similar. It is not really about open source, but it can be about open source. Now, just to share with you, in case you don't already know, I uh, I am a consultant. I basically provide consultation on Atlassian tools like Jira, and it is not really an open source product. It is proprietary. People pay for it, but at the same time, I also do things on Linux. And in the past, I have earned money using open source technologies like Linux or Drupal. I'm still a Drupal developer. I develop web portals using Drupal. And one other area of earning money, it may not be using open source directly, but it can be uh, using open source technologies. So what you can do, what you can think of doing is, let us say you are a developer, you're a techie, and you like doing things, and maybe you're working for a company, or maybe you want to start your own business, or maybe you're just a freelancer. Of course, you can explore a lot of options, but one good option could be to become a developer. And instead of making your own product from scratch, although you should try it. But one easy way or quick way to try the market, or maybe to have like a regular stream of income, is to basically develop an app for an existing marketplace. Now we are all familiar with the Android App Store, Play Store, and also for iOS App Store, where you can of course make an app and you can earn money by either selling an app or maybe by inserting ads on your app. And by the way, I've also earned money from running a website, my own website, but with ads, because you can. Why not? Uh, So of course you can develop mobile apps, but I don't really want to talk about mobile apps, because mobile apps for both iOS and Android, the market is like saturated, so it might be a bit difficult. Although you should try. But if you're looking for, no, I don't really want to say unexplored market, uh, but there are a lot of marketplaces where you can potentially maybe build an app very quickly, promote it, publish it, and then try if you can earn money. So one such marketplace, in fact, I will talk about a couple of marketplaces. One such marketplace is Atlassian. So Atlassian marketplace is quite good. Of course, people use Atlassian tools like Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket, and there are other tools like Trello. They use it usually by companies, organizations, non-profit, and they try to solve a problem. And these apps fill a gap. Now, these apps can be built by anyone. I mean, most of these apps are in fact like famous Atlassian apps were actually built by an individual, and later on those apps became really popular. So you can maybe think of developing an app and publishing it here. I also have a couple of apps. So if you search here, Sparksys, my company name. I have two apps, JQL Maximizer and Stay on Top. This app is Stay on Top is for both Jira Data Center and Jira Cloud, and you can think of using Atlassian Marketplace to develop an app. And if your app is really good, if you're able to promote it, or if the app is really solving a problem, then you have a chance to maybe become a millionaire. And that is also my plan, to be honest. Also, at the same time, you can think of Trello. So Trello is very popular, and when you go to Trello Marketplace, they have something called as Trello Power Ups. So these power ups are nothing but apps that you can develop, and I have experience developing an app on Atlassian Marketplace. I never really built a Trello app or Trello Power Up, but I know it is very simple. For example, just to give you an idea, you can because these apps solve problems, right? So it could be it could be an app for reporting, it could be an app for integration, it could be just a utility. So you can think of a lot of things that you are trying to solve, and then maybe if you think other people are also if they can benefit, then they might be able to purchase. They can actually, if they can find your app, then I'm sure they can also benefit from that particular app where you solved a problem. So it's all about solving problems. So you can also think of Trello power ups. I also want to talk about Slack. So Slack apps are not very difficult to make. I actually made a Slack app very quickly. And by the way, if you are trying to learn how to build those apps, you can of course follow their documentation, like start building. For example, if you want to learn how Slack development works, you can click on build, and then you can browse their documentation and you can learn about it, right? You can basically spend some time here on the marketplace documentation, like how to become a developer. Just to give you an idea about apps that you can develop for, let us say, marketplace for Jira. So depending upon, most of the cloud, because right now Atlassian is very much focused on cloud, Jira Cloud. So for Jira Cloud, you can use their online development platform. It is, it's not really a development platform. It's basically a couple of ways of developing an app. You can use something called as Connect Framework, which Atlassian wants to get rid of, but they now have this Atlassian Forge environment, or not really an environment, but again a development platform or a framework where you can write your code and you can deploy it on their infrastructure. So it is actually very convenient. Similarly, for Trello and Slack, they have similar concepts, but the way you will develop apps, the language that you will use, you can of course learn more about it. But I just wanted to talk about it because if you have time, if you have resources, or if you have skills, you can do a lot of things. You can do wonderful things with these existing tools, applications, products. And talking about marketplace, because these marketplaces have a way to, you write your code, you publish it, and then you promote it, but they will take care of all the, selling part. For example, if you publish an app on the marketplace, someone who is interested in buying or trying those marketplace apps, they can just do it very easily from within Jira. So each and every Jira instance has a section called Manage App section, from where they can install the app. So let me just show you. For example, if I go to my Jira instance and if I want to install my own app, I can do that. That would be weird, but yeah, let me just show you. So for example, I'm within Jira, and if I want to try an app, I can just go to the apps, and all the apps, whether free, paid, they're going to be listed here. For example, I can search for my own app, Stay on Top, and I can basically install it. So this app will bring in some features to my Jira instance, and that is the idea. I want to basically improve Jira. So this is not really a free app; it is a paid app. It is estimated based on the number of users. Users or companies using my app will pay for it. So this is something that you can also think of doing if you want to earn money. And again, nothing to do with open source, and by the way, the app that I wrote was actually in Node.js. So I'm not really like a Node.js expert developer, but Node.js is not very difficult to learn. I actually learned it properly, but I don't really think you need to do a course. You can just start building if you have some programming experience. And this could be one of the other way of just financially sustain yourself, or maybe if you want to try out something, maybe if you want to explore a new area, or maybe if you are looking for a different income source, maybe it could be your full-time thing. I know people who actually earn I know individuals who earn $5,000 $6,000 per month by their app, and they are the only developer, which is great, right? I mean, it's like more than enough money, to be honest, to live in any country, most of the countries, I hope. But if you're able to develop an app, depending upon it depends on the nature of the app. If the app is sometimes you can just develop an app and maybe you can just update it every other month, or whenever you think you have to update it. Of course, if you have paying customers, then you have to support them, which I do. But at the same time, it is not in a way a passive income source, because you have to maintain your app, but still it is one focused way of earning money. So you focus on development, and maybe you can hire later on if you're able to sell your app. Maybe you can build your team, maybe you can focus on doing a bit more marketing. I know some app developers, they started alone or maybe with a couple of people, but they grew. And I know a lot of, not just one, not just two, but I know a lot of examples where apps developed by individuals were acquired by other companies. So if that happens, maybe if that is something that you want to do, or if that happens, then you will get like a chunk of money, not really chunk of money, but a lot of money in just one go. So you can definitely think of doing that. But I just wanted to talk about it. It could be one of the options, because people do ask me these questions like related to career in open source, or what options do we have. And by the way, this can be done by anyone. You don't need to be an experienced person. As long as you can code, as long as you're passionate about technology, you can do these things. And yeah, that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.